In this video, I'm going to go from how to take learned wisdom to practical wisdom. And this is super important as you're leading teams. I take the first step with the information that is available right now in order to reach my goals and dreams. I'm not really quite sure what step 10 or 20 or even 100 is going to be, but I'm comfortable enough to take the first step. We're going to go through learned wisdom, how to get some of it, set goals, and actually do what Zig Ziglar said, which is whatever you are trying to accomplish, no matter how big the step you can take today, just take the first step. Zig said that famously, and it exists, and it's real in today's world. And today I'm going to go through the entire process, take learned wisdom, and make it practical wisdom. Learned wisdom is super important. I like reading books to accomplish a goal or a mission. A lot of people go out into the world and they are collecting wisdom and learning like it's a book or like it's a collectible. And I just don't find a lot of value in that. I'm a doer. I like to do things. And so some of the things that I've done in order to get wisdom, the learned type, is take courses, books, podcasts, talks, when you go to San Francisco or New York and you're watching somebody from stage and they're talking about a particular topic, shows. Wildly enough, there's a lot of stuff on Netflix and in HBO about business, which are really good. CNBC has some amazing shows about business, and also interviews with people who are actually doing the thing that you're trying to learn. That's where the real value is. What I would say about learned wisdom that's really important is do not listen to the guru. Do not listen to the guy who sold his business 20 years ago and is talking about it today. Listen to the person who is actually in the trenches, doing the work, focused on the same goal that you have. So if you're trying to create a $100 million company, don't listen to somebody who has a $1 billion company. Conversely, don't listen to somebody who has a $10 million company. Those two people are in completely different spaces than you are. You have to hunt out the person that has the same goal, the same exactual achievable result that you're looking for, and then try to learn from them. I like calling them peers. I like calling them mentors. I like calling them coaches. These are the most important and practical people on your journey to lived wisdom. I think I should define that real quick. Lived wisdom is when you've gone through the fire and actually experienced what it is like to have that challenge in your life and have success, overcoming an obstacle and hitting a goal or creating some result that you want in your life. That is lived wisdom. And it is so valuable because most people want to give you their opinion. Opinions are no good. Their learned wisdom as an entrepreneur and a CEO and somebody who's in the trenches, you have to be able to discern the difference between the two because they're vastly different in their experience level. And if you listen to somebody who's just learned the thing and is giving an opinion, you're probably going to be going down the wrong path. So what is lived wisdom? Lived wisdom is when somebody's on the path to success for the same goal that you are. If somebody's trying to lose 20 pounds and get buff and participate in some show, it's very visible that you wouldn't go out and hire somebody who's unhealthy for that role. You wouldn't hire a beanpole type of trainer if you're trying to get into a muscle building show, right? You'd want to hire somebody who's actually been in a show and teaches or trains other people to be in a show. Another great example is Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is a famous bodybuilder, but guess what? He's not in it right now. He's not doing the work today. So while I would love to meet him and talk to him about his workout routine and get some of his wisdom, but I wouldn't hire him if I wanted to be in a bodybuilding show today because he's not in the fight. He's somebody that I'd listen to and love to have a talk with, but I wouldn't have him as my coach. I wouldn't hire him as my mentor. I would want to hear his story, but not involve him in my journey. So how do you get started? That's the thing that we talked about at the top of the video. Zig Ziglar has the best line ever. Take the biggest step that you possibly can right now, and then learn, adjust, and iterate. That's the big deal. Most people won't take the first step. I was recently at a dinner with a bunch of dads who it's an entrepreneurial focus. And there were two individuals who are like, I'm looking to buy a business. I'm like, that's amazing. I cannot wait to hear your story. His name's Mike. So I said, hey, Mike, how many offers have you made on businesses? And I caught him back. It was like, Whoa, he was like confused. He's like, well, I'm planning on buying a business and I'm just learning right now. My advice to him and my advice to you is start taking action, no matter what the size is. So I asked Mike, can you start submitting offers for businesses right now, today? Can you get into the game right now and take the biggest step you possibly can? That will supercharge all of your results in life. It will separate you from everyone else. And this is the one superpower that has helped me achieve my dreams and goals over the years. So what stops you from taking action? I've written down all the excuses. I just want you to recognize them, because people hear the excuses and they actually think they're reasons, but they're just excuses. So 1, you've given up too fast. You started taking steps and you didn't get to the result that you want. That's a big mistake. Actually, failure is your best barometer. Hard is how you know you're on the right path. So it's hard to double your company. It's hard to reach $100 million. It's hard to be a billionaire. But guess what? If you're on the path and you're failing and it's hard, that's how you know you're on the right path. That's it. That's how you know. Number 2, I don't have enough time. The reality is that's also an excuse and not the reason. You just haven't prioritized this thing yet. You haven't decided that your whole world matters more than anything, this particular goal. If you actually cared about hitting your goals, you would dedicate the time required. We all have 24 hours in the day, and if you wanted this thing, you'd make the time for it. Number 3, analysis paralysis. This is like my friend Mike, who was like, well, I'm learning, I'm reading books, I'm taking classes, I haven't really made an offer yet. Make an offer. Stop analyzing anything. In fact, doing the analysis ahead of time when you're not in the game means that you're not actually analyzing anything. Like, you're not going to learn from reading or looking at somebody else's work or, looking at the results or the reports of somebody else's action. You're going to learn by taking action, as big as action as you possibly can, meaning take the steps that you possibly can right now. Another big deal is they won't take the first step. So the first step often is actually the easiest because you know exactly what it is. Define that first step and take it. It's not hard. For my friend Mike, and I just keep coming back to him, his first step was to underwrite a bunch of businesses. That's not hard. You just got to find out what businesses are actually for sale right now in your local area, so you can take that step. The next step would be submit an LOI. Guess what? He can do both of those steps without any risk right now. He doesn't have to risk money. He doesn't have to risk his current job. He doesn't have to risk the wealth of his family. He's not going to lose anything for his kid or his wife. But it is 2 steps that he can take right now. Too busy. That's the time one again, not really the thing. ADHD. This is a problem. I have it. You have it. If you're thinking about starting a business, you likely are the type of person who focuses on one thing really hard for 6 months, and then you change your mind and you're off in this other direction. I would advise you to really sit in the moment. Why is this goal important to you? Write it down, get a plan, socialize that plan with people that you care about, and make sure that this is actually the path that you want to go down, because it's super important if you're considering achieving a goal, starting a business, growing wealth. It's hard to do, and you've got to be clear that this is what you want. So you got to make sure that this is actually the path that you want to go down. But these are all the excuses, and I wanted to blow them up for you because you probably have them in your psyche right now. You just got to take action.